All right, quarterback Ahmad Bradshaw, defensive back Brandon Jackson, linebackers Andrew King and Jeremy Timpf. Let's ask our questions of the players. After you state your name and organization, please. Would you like to go first, Charles? Please do.
Son, Charles Grievous with GoBlackKnights.com. This is for anybody on the defensive side of the ball. It seems like you had a little problem, a little trouble with Hinton when he came in at quarterback. Was there something about his style of play that caused a challenge for you guys defensively?
I think he's a really good player. I think his coaches had him coached up pretty well. He's a bad quarterback. He performed really well coming in for their starter. We made a couple mistakes on defense, but we commend the Wake Forest team. They were really well coached and well talented.
Go ahead, Ken.
Ken Kreitzer, Sons of the American Legion Radio. Jeremy, you're making a lot of plays out there. What was it that Wake Forest was doing made it tough? I mean, they were trying to do a lot of outside passes right to the sideline, and then they're trying to throw deep on you. What was your plan on stopping plays like that?
I mean, we would widen our stances and stuff. We knew they were a huge passing team coming into this game, so we were fully aware of their passing game. And then once their quarterback went out, I think kind of changed up a little bit. They had put in a little more scrambling quarterback, so that was a little different. But I thought we adjusted pretty well. I mean, a few plays here and there.
Okay. Just going to ask Ahmad, again, you were running the ball yourself quite a bit today. What was it about Wake Forest made it tough to run? I know they had a couple of defensive linemen in front of you.
They were just like a well-coached team, very disciplined. They didn't. They stayed on their guys, and they just played hard. They played well.
I was going to ask Brandon about all of a sudden you got a couple of balls going straight for you, and you're able to grab them and make two terrific interceptions. What were your thoughts on those plays?
Just the coaches, coaching me up well on my technique, plays giving me hints and, little things to help me stay in coverage better. So all the credit really goes to, the older guys in my position and my position coach, defensive coordinator.
Okay. Go ahead, Sal.
To Jeremy or Andrew, just can you talk about the emotion after this game, another close one that it went down to the wire again?
I mean, it's devastating, but it's promising at the same time. I mean, if you look back, 10 points away from being 3-0, I mean, that's nothing on paper. So, I mean, obviously we're a little upset, but, I mean, we've seen some great things of some of the things in the defense. I think we're getting better every week, and I'm excited to see where we're headed.
Ahmad, with the option, I guess the fullbacks got a little bit more of the ball today. Was that just something that Wake Forest was giving you, or something that you guys wanted to do today?
Just a basic option read. Guy was not tackling our B-backs a lot, so in the balls.
Go ahead, Ron.
Jeremy, you guys had called a timeout with about 2.5 minutes to go when they were deep in their own territory. So presumably you were counting on getting the ball back?
Oh, yeah, that's our plan, yeah. I mean, Coach makes his decisions. We just play the game, so I'm not sure what he was thinking.
Was there any one play in that drive that's coming back to haunt you?
I mean, we'll have to look at the film. I don't remember every play exactly, but, I mean, they got a nice pass over the middle to number 85. He's a great player, so, I mean, I'll have to see what happens with our coverage there. But
And, man, what an effort. They just really fought to the end, and I was so proud of them. And, I just give congratulations to Wake Forest. They were down 7-0 at halftime, and they just kept fighting too, and kept playing, and what a great job Dave's doing with that organization, and they're a well-coached team, and they played hard and they kept fighting. And it was a great football game, and it's just so disappointing to be on the losing end of that, and to have some plays kind of in the grasp of your hands, and to not be able to make them is just so disappointing. And our kids are devastated. They're just so excited to play today, and really believed we were going to win the football game, and we certainly had several chances, and we're close. We're just that close, and it's just a matter of making some more plays that we didn't make. They did. They made some plays, and we didn't, and that's always the case. It's always the story of the game. So. I'm so proud to be the coach of these young men, because they really fought. And they're exactly what I want our team to be: tough, and play with great effort, and play together. And they did that we just didn't perform well enough. Missed tackles and didn't block them well enough. Those are fundamental things that we got to do better. And we put the ball on the ground, cost us. We had some mesh fumbles and some things that gave us some negative yardage plays, and we weren't able to convert the drives. And you can't do that. And you got to move the sticks. So, unfortunately, we end up with the same result.
Go ahead, Ron.
Speaking of missed plays, did you think Xavier had that interception?
Sure he did. He had it right in his hands. Just, for whatever reason, didn't probably look it all the way into his hands and all the way to the tuck. And we really teach that fundamental to nose the point of the football all the way into the tuck, even if you're on defense. And before the game, our defensive coaches throw balls at those guys, and they work at going up and getting the ball. And I'm standing right over there saying, nose it to the tuck. And when they don't do it, I toss another ball at them. I say, I want to see you nose it to the tuck, just the fundamental. And having been a former wide receiver, he heard that enough last year. And there was a lot of green grass. He was going to take it to the house. It was over at that point had he picked that ball off. But just didn't look it in. And hey, it's a missed opportunity.
As losses go, how bad was this one?
I don't know. I can't rank losses. They all hurt to me. I hate to lose.
Go ahead, Charles.
Sure. Coach, with about 9:44 left in the game, the score is 14-7. Wake Forest is up 4th and 2 on their side of the ball, and you went for the 22-yard field goal. Were there any thoughts about going for it on 4th and 2 at all?
No, I wanted to get some points there. We were really having a difficult time moving the football. And we had one drive in the first half where we scored points. Obviously, we were up 7-0, and we just weren't getting many yards. We weren't in scoring position, and we were in scoring position there. And I really felt like getting points there was going to be important. I sure wish we would have got that field goal. We might be sitting here talking about a different story.
And speaking of not getting the yards offensively, I think you rushed for 186 total yards. Obviously, that's not what you want out of this offense. Is there anything specific that you can say ties to the lack of production, whether it's the offensive line or execution?
Oh, the execution of their assignments is good. We're not missing assignments. We're not sustaining blocks. And that has as much to do with the defense as it does with us. They're not always easy to keep blocked. And from the very first play, we ran an option play over to our bench, and we had Ryan Alexander out there on the outside linebacker, and we had Joe Walker out there on the safety, and we didn't sustain the block. And Ryan did a good job, and he went through Joe and got on Joe about it and talked about how important it is to sustain blocks. And we didn't do that anywhere, getting the fullback going. We got the fullback in there, and he's running, and we just can't get the backside cut off, or can't keep the movement on the inside guy there with the double teams, and he's sliding off or just bottling up enough that another guy can fall inside. And just we got to be able to sustain blocks and do a better job of that. That's our offense, and rushing for 186 yards is certainly not good enough in our offense. We're just not getting the production that we need. And we're running the same plays we ran a year ago, and we're trying to do the same things that we've always done and been productive with. We just got to do a better job of fundamentals, and I mean, we work them. We work those fundamentals, and we practice hard. We practice in pads. We're blocking below the waist, in full gear in practice, which a lot of people don't do at all. And we've got to do that to be good at fundamentals. It's just we're not doing it on a consistent enough basis, and we haven't done it the first 3 ball games on a consistent enough basis.
Go ahead, Ken.
Coach, during the week you were talking a little bit about on offense trying to attack the perimeter, and you got the nice pass out to Bell, DeAndre Bell in the first half, and then Traynor had a beautiful reception in the second half. Is that something you just got to find more plays, more opportunities to do?
Well, it's not as easy as it seems. You can drop a lot of pass plays that you think will work. You got to protect them, and the defense has got to cooperate on those play-action plays, especially. And if you're not doing a great job of blocking them up front, and I'm not saying our guys are doing a terrible job, just if we can get the fullback going, we get the inside run going, then we can get the ball on the perimeter. And if we do a good job blocking on the perimeter, then it just forces the defense to get more involved in the run. The fewer defenders they have to use in the run, the more defenders they can use in the play action pass. And we hit them a couple of times, but we had a play action pass there in the right there in the fourth quarter that hit Christian Drake out of the backfield, hit him right in the hip. He didn't look for it quick enough, and if he catches that one, he's gone too. So, and we had some opportunities, but I've said before, we got to run the ball effectively. We're just trying to turn the sticks, and our defense was doing a good job. And again, you got to play a team game. You can go out there and chunk it 3 times and try to figure out if you can find a big pass play, but you get yourself in long yardage situations, and that's tough. So, we hit a couple. DeAndre made a great catch, as you said, across the middle, and we hit Trainer. We just that's not enough. We got to hit some bigger plays, and I wish we'd hit some in the run game. I think that'll help us hit some more in the passing game.
And every week we see some young players emerging, contributing. As you mentioned, Christian Drake, and also, of course, Brandon Jackson with the 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. How does it feel to see some of those players you brought in starting to really make plays?
I'm excited for those guys and the opportunity they've gotten to contribute to the team. It takes a whole team, and on every team, they had some young guys playing over there making plays for them. And I'm not sure what year in school that quarterback was, jersey number 2, but I think he's an underclassman, and you got to be able to step up and play, and so I'm glad to see those guys doing that.
Go ahead, Sal.
Can you talk about the Brandon's game specifically with the 2 interceptions, first career start? Seemed he was ready to play and make.
I'm sorry.
Just Brandon Jackson's play today, in his first start. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
I think Brandon is he's young and naive enough to just get out there and play, and there's something good about that and something refreshing about him being in there, and he's not playing scared. He's just out there playing and trying to do the best he can, and he found himself in good position a couple of times. He made a really nice play on that second interception to go up and get that thing. I'm glad he's made some plays. That'll help his confidence. It certainly should. I think he's a talented kid, and he'll get better the more he plays. So it's good to see him make a contribution like he did.
How do you keep the team up after 3 games decided by 10 points where you could easily maybe be 3-0?
It's again, you can get beat, or then you can be defeated, and we might be beaten, but we're not defeated, and I think we got a very resilient team. I think we got a bunch of tough guys that really care, and they can see how close we are, and I think they'll come back to work tomorrow. I think they desperately want to prove that they can win these games, and I think in these first 3 games we were good enough to win. We just didn't execute well enough to win, and it comes down to fundamentals, blocking and tackling and taking care of the ball, and we didn't do a great job of that today. If you look and you really just sat there and watched, we didn't sustain blocks like we needed to. We didn't tackle very well. Again, I'm sure we probably had a lot of missed tackles, and that last third down where the quarterback scooted out of there, where they had their backs to the wall. If we stop them there, we got a couple timeouts and probably the ball at midfield, and we had him dead to rights and didn't get him down. So got to make a play. And several times he ran through some tackles. I thought that kid played a really nice football game. But I'm not going to panic, and I'm not going to point the finger and beat them up. I thought our guys played really tough, and I thought they played really hard. And I can't ask any more than that for them to perform, for them to make a tackle, and for them to sustain a block. I think they're trying really hard to make those tackles and sustain those blocks. And Lord knows you're out there more than anybody, and that's not on our staff, Sal. You get to see us, and you watch us run a lot of fundamentals, just blocking, tackling, and we work on it. And we've got to do it in the game when it counts. And we just didn't do a great job of that. And that's our job as coaches, to continue to work those things and not try to try to come up with a bunch of fancy tricks to make it happen. We got to coach our guys to play better fundamentally, and that's our responsibility.
Go ahead, Ron.
Coach, you called a timeout after their first play on that last drive, so you're obviously counting on getting the ball back. Did it surprise you they moved so far, so fast?
Oh, they did a great job on that drive, and there wasn't. They had hit some big plays. They had some long balls on us, and the guys were in decent position to make some of those plays and get the ball out. We did, and that set up some scores for them. But sure, I mean, I told the official standing right next to me, I said, if there's a lost yardage play, I want to get a timeout. And sure enough, there's a lost yardage play, so it's 2nd and 12. And I wasn't going to burn them all there. I wanted to save one for a field goal at least. And then they ran the ball and let the clock run. And then on 3rd down, they were going to pass, and we got a lot of guys dropped into coverage, and he scrambled out of there and got the 1st down. And then from there, they hit some plays. They did a nice job moving the ball and hitting some plays, and that's not something that they had done a great job of all game long. They put a drive together right there, and credit to them. But I really had confidence that our defense was going to stop them, and particularly when we got them in a long yardage situation, I assumed they wouldn't go for it on 4th and long or 4th down. They would punt the ball to us. So I thought we would get the ball back and give us a chance to drive down there, and all we needed was a field goal. So I just felt like we needed to do that to give ourselves a chance to win it in regulation. And unfortunately, they put a great drive together, and what a heck of a play by the kicker on the last play. Thing bounced back there, and he had the poise to put it through. Credit to him.